Hi, I'm Jason Hiles. We're coming to you today from my office in the College of Theology. Today we'll be talking about doubt. I'd like to read a passage from Matthew chapter 17. We're in verse 20 and talk about it just a little bit. Jesus is going to give us some insight into what doubt is and the effects of that. Verse 20, he says to his disciples, because of your little faith, for truly I say to you, if you have faith like a grain of mustard seed, you will say to this mountain, move from here to there, and it will move, and nothing will be impossible for you. Now, to put that into some context, the disciples came to Christ after they were unable to do something that needed to be done. A man had a son who was being plagued by a demon, a lot of spiritual oppression, a lot of challenges in his life and suffering for his son, and he asked them to remove the demon from the son, and they could not do it. They could not cast the demon out. And so when they came to Jesus and asked him, why couldn't we not do this? Obviously you could. You turned to the demon and commanded him to leave, and he did. Jesus said, well, because of your little faith, you did not believe. Now, as we put that into context, it should be fairly easy to understand that the disciples were doubting. They were not trusting. They were not depending on God. But what we fail to notice sometimes is that they were actually depending on their own strength, their own resources, their own abilities. This is where we find ourselves very often when we are doubting. We're relying on something that is not trustworthy. Such was the case with the disciples. And so Jesus rebuked them and said, look, your faith is lacking because you have not trusted in one who is trustworthy. He says to them, if you were to do that, if you were to exercise faith, you would be connecting yourself with the God who is capable of doing exactly what you ask and even more. So in placing our trust in Him, we can accomplish the things that He has called us to accomplish. That and much more, such that nothing will be impossible for you because nothing is impossible for God.